Did it go live? Hey everybody. I'm not going to really wait around for anybody to come in for the video. I'm just going to try to put it out. This is going to be the weekly healing messages, the energy forecast for August 22nd through the 31st. Excuse me, got to move my little baby here. My cat always shows up when I want to do the videos. I want to do one more thing real fast before I get into all of this, and then I'm gonna start putting this all together and getting it out there for you. Just place this out real fast in two places so that I know it's taken care of. Well, one place. All right, let me. All right, everybody, this is what's up. I'm not going to be looking at whoever's talking, so whoever is saying hi, hello, and I love you guys. But Spirit has been so on my butt to get this out, so I'm putting it out. This is the energy forecast for August 22nd through August 31st. We are going into the full moon in Aquarius, but this really is not about Aquarius. This is about us learning how to get prepared for the energies we're setting in the new moon in Virgo in 2 weeks. Now, what Spirit gives me for all of this energy, starting with this full moon energy, plain and simple, there's a test here in this, and it has to do with courage, it has to do with willfulness, it has to do with embracing change. But the hidden message here, the hidden message, which is so important, is Spirit is reminding me, all too often we try to get in our consciousness, and we try to work from our consciousness on a higher spiritual level, and we're trying to manifest, we're trying to grow, we're trying to adapt on that awareness. You have to understand, your unconsciousness plays just as much of an important, powerful part here. And sometimes your unconsciousness, because this is what you do like in your daily tasks, your mundane tasks of what I speak about all the time. Sometimes your unconsciousness is more powerful than your consciousness, simply because you're not conscious to the fact that you do it. And this is what they're getting at. Would you stop? This is what they're getting at. You need to start being aware of that very unconsciousness right now. It is, Spirit's exact words to me were your behaviors in it. It is your diligence. It is your willfulness. In fact, it is a test and an exercise on your due diligence. You're being tested on your exercising of your due diligence. This is as a defense for you, a protection for you, a growth for you. They are hitting you with these energies within this next week and a half as you come through this full moon and you see what the energies of this full moon brings forward. And with this full moon, that questioning of your due diligence, your true willfulness, starts to come forward, because you're going to start to see situations of fraud, reputation, character, your risk taking, your routines, your requirements, your regulations, your people and relationships, your structure, your boundaries, the rules, the awareness of all of this. But what is your part in it within your own personal little individual lives? And where are you being mindful of your own unconscious energies? Because what they give me, it's just so funny the way Spirit works. Spirit, the way it works for me, see, when I do astrology, I don't do astrology like most astrologers. Spirit literally taught me how to do astrology. And I see things that other people don't, and then they add their voices and their music or whatever. And the way that they're explaining this to me is there's that song out there right now that is Your Bad Habits Lead to You. And then they give me Church Lady from Saturday Night Live going, well, isn't that just special? And this is what they're talking about. Your bad habits have just as much power of creating you as the conscious effort you put into creating you. In fact, your bad habits, which is in Virgo, because all of this is pointing to Virgo. We're going into Virgo season. All of this is pointing towards pointing to Virgo, which is your everyday daily tasks, your mundane tasks, your health, your diet, your routines, the people, places, and things of energies that you consume you. And you are what you eat, not just food, energy. And then your bad habits. They are what is making you. But at the same time, if you're aware of it and you're working through it, that's when it starts to turn into what the way Spirit gave me is Church Lady. Well, isn't that just special? Because some of you are special. Some of you are quite capable of getting away with a lot of shit. But that's also because you're starting to come into your power. And you know you can't be pushed around. You know you can't be dictated. You know you can't be belittled. And you can't be controlled. So for some of you, isn't that just special? Is because you are coming into your power. You are starting to be aware of your consciousness as well as your unconsciousness, of your daily routines, those people, places, and things of energies that you consume. They consume you. You are what you eat. Spirit reminds me, within these energies, and as we're trying to grow, we're trying to find courage, we're trying to mature in our daily lives and our routines. This is about embracing that change, like I said, but it's also about actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. But then you also have to remember, how was the actions made? Because every action has a reaction. And what they give me is, you can be building an empire or you can be building a hovel. Which one is up to you? And all of that has to do with your conscious and unconscious mind. And being aware when you catch yourself in the bad habits. People, places, things of energies that you consume. It is your daily routines. It is your food, your health, your diet. Like I said, food, health, diet, that's not just food. That's also energy. People, places, and things. I do not know how many ways I could go back and replace and say that over and over again. Are you submitting? Or are you settling? Are you coming into your power and you won't be belittled? You will not be pushed around. You will not be controlled. This is all has to do with this energy of what I'm being given. But you have to understand this week is projected completely. I'm going to go over the astrology the way Spirit is giving it to me. But there's so much of this that has to do with Virgo versus Pisces. Virgo versus Pisces. Now, I don't care where it is on your own personal natal chart. This energy will still take its energy, just be placed into your natal chart within those same houses, if you follow astrology. Or if you're just listening to me, I'm giving it to you from a universal standpoint, because you are going to see it in some form take place this week. You have Virgo, which the sun is moving into Virgo on the 22nd, I believe in that evening, same day as the full moon. However, the full moon actually takes place in the wee hours of the morning. Okay? So, and then it shifts us directly into Pisces within 40 minutes of that full moon in the morning on the 22nd. Then Virgo starts to have the sun move into it. You also have Regulus now in Virgo. Regulus is the heart of the lion, which is adding to those people, places, and things, your daily routines, your health, your diet, your hygiene, your habits, and asking, do they feed the soul or not? Because if they don't feed the soul, why are they still part of your life? Period. No questions, no bullshit, no more denial. If it's not having some form of an asset of feeding your soul within your soul daily routine and life, which is exactly what makes it mundane, because it's part of your every single day that you overlook it. Why is it still part of your life? Why are you allowing it to still remain? Because you're used to settling. That has to do with the old program of how we have been in our past. We are breaking the matrix. We are breaking the cage from within and exercising all of the old ways so that we are truthfully, more soulfully connected and authentic and coming back into our light and back into our truth. And you have the sun here. You have Regulus here. The sun is going to illuminate anything going on in these routines in this area of that Virgo energy. Virgo is the lie detector. I don't like to call Virgo the virgin. It's the lie detector. It knows how to pick everything apart, and it knows how to see, this is why this is this way. This is why this is this way. That's what it does. It analyzes and picks it apart. And then we're talking about it within that 6th house of your daily routines and habits. The sun is illuminating what's good and what's not and why. So are you paying attention? Are you settling? Are you taking action? And it's got Mars here, which is breathing, apparently they're wanting me to say, breathing fire into these routines, these actions, these daily mundane tasks, your people, places, and things that consume you while you consume it. Mercury, the communication, is here, but none of that is getting along with Pisces energy. Pisces is Neptune in retrograde, sitting right on top of Pallas, Athena, the warrior goddess. You have to understand, Pisces is the universal 12th house of your denials. Of your denials, of your secrets, your shame, your blame, your guilt, your lies to yourself, your skeletons in the closet, the things that you're afraid to heal about yourself because you don't know who you really are deep down under all of the pain. It is sitting with Pallas, Athena, the warrior goddess, which is all about strategic thinking. So are you using her owl of wisdom to bury yourself deeper or to come into the light? Neptune is magic in that 12th house. It does not care what it creates magically. That's why it is illusion and delusion. That's why its fantasy smacks you in the face with harsh-ass reality. And that's what you're going to be seeing if you're not in your power. Through all of this fraud, reputation, character being questioned, you're taking risks, your rules, your routines, your requirements, your regulations, your boundaries, your people, your relationships. You have the keys to create a whole new world and start setting it up for that new moon in a couple weeks, because it's all being given to you with this full moon. There's nothing that is not showing its truth. The masquerade masks have fallen off. It's just, do you want to see it? Or do you want to continue lying to yourself? Because that means you're satisfied with settling. You're satisfied with submission. This is all asking you to use your willfulness, use your dignity, use your diligence to bring you through it, and stick to your guns and make what you need to have happen in your life. On the 30th Mercury moves into Libra with Venus and Vista. Libra is the relationship zone. And any and everything you care about, you have a relationship with, not just your family, not just your loved ones, not just your lovers, not just your working environment. You have a relationship with your money. You have anything you care about, you have a relationship. You have a relationship with your home. You want to keep your home. Anything you care about, you have a relationship with. And it is asking you just how important and what is the asset in the relationship. Does it bring you closer to truly soulfulness? Are these people or places or things that you have these relationships with, are they truly satisfying? Or are they part of what's questioning your character? Or are they making you grow by questioning your character? If somebody is in your life, I heard this before somewhere, if somebody is in your life for whatever reason, they're either there to help you grow or to show you where you're not growing. It's one of the two. Choose wisely. Not to mention Libra has Vista in it. Vista is the keys to the successful relationship. Vista is the keys to opening and unlocking the doors. Venus is going to hit you on the sensitivity level on if this is good for you or not. I can't say, but I've said it a million times. Venus is not love. She can teach you how to coerce love. She can tell you how to charm love. She can tell you how to make it feel good so that you want to be part of that. But she also tells you when it hurts you and when it betrays you. That's why it's emotional. She speaks to you about your emotional well-being, your emotional state of mind, as well as your physical well-being. Because when you're out of health and not healthy, she'll be attacking that physical well-being to show you where you are harming yourself. As well as, don't forget, I've been saying, make, and Haumea, which is the lotus flower, and the collective consciousness are in these relationship zones right now with Venus, and Mercury's about to move in. Communication is about to be off the chain on the truths with relationships. But first, we're seeing if they are even worth it. And then, where will you take it? Is it salvageable? Let's be real. Can we grow with these relationships or not? Are they helping us to grow and mature, or are they actually keeping us down? It's the very collective consciousness is taking place in these areas. Now, you have a grand trine that is taking place up until the 27th. Grand trines are very powerful energies to help bring about opportunities, to help bring a positive change forward. Okay, you have in Gemini, the house of communication. You have the North Node, which is here. And we're getting close to the end of the North Node being in Gemini. So it's going to start hitting below the belt and the communication of everything that's up close and important to you right here in your life that you can feel and touch and be part of. The South Node is in Sag, which is telling you everything that's far away from you. So this is not part of the Grand Trine, but the reason for that is the North Node is everything you need to learn in order to move forward. We're talking about the communication of everything that's up close and personal. Sitting there with Ceres, which is karma. She's karma, period. So how is the communication with yourself and everybody and everything that is important to you? Are you communicating what you need? It is speaking to Saturn. I don't agree with most astrologers. I see Saturn in Aquarius more as curious and willing to take a chance. Because I see Aquarius as great balls of fire. I see it as, the fireworks. You know something massive is about to happen. You're going to watch this great, big, beautiful show, but you have no idea what's going to happen in that show. You just know you want to see it. Aquariuses are ballsy and ready to take on anything. You're talking about rules, walls, and boundaries. We're curious about where we need to shift and change, and will it work out for the best? Talking about it being up close and personal, going back to Gemini and the communication of everything that's important to you, learning how to reevaluate those rules, walls, and boundaries within the outer world of your own friends, your working environments, the memberships you keep. And then that is talking to the 7th house. Like you said, relationships. Your character may be under scrutiny. Your reputation may be questioned. But this is all going to come down to, what are your daily routines? How is your behavior? What are you aware of? How are you acting? What do you do when no one's watching, but people are always watching? There's always someone watching. So would you be proud of you? Or somebody seeing things about you that maybe you wish they didn't see, but maybe it's time that you do need to see it? Within these relationships, as well as mirroring is going to take place, because you're talking about relationships and the true collective consciousness of where you are at within the relationships. And are the communication upfront, bold, and honest? Or is it entitled? Is it trying to push you around? Like I said, there's two sides to the way Spirit was giving me. You are what you eat. You know, your bad habits are what create you, just as much as your conscious actions. Isn't that special? Are you getting away with things because you're doing your work? So therefore, in a form, you're getting a pat on the back by the universe, while other ones are actually jealous and looking at you because they can't understand why you get treated differently. There's going to be a lot of scrutiny going on here, and a lot of people looking at each other within these relationships. So this is the time to be bold, front, honest, and make sure that at the same time you are checking your own ego and checking your own self, keeping yourself in line, because that's how the unconscious becomes conscious. Okay? Now that Gemini energy, which is with that North Node and Sirius, which, like I said, is below the belt karma coming in, it's getting along great in sextiles, like chain reactions of sextiles. Is we get comfortable, we get lazy, and we slip up. So you have that communication that's right there up front in your face of everything that's important to you, and the karma about how it's been being taken care of. Speaking to Chiron, the wounded healer. So are you afraid to speak up? Are there certain people you're afraid to speak up to while you're ballsy with the other ones? Because it then is sextiling Saturn, rules, walls, and boundaries, and the outer world, taking the chance from Chiron to start a new thing, start a new direction, start a new relationship, put new boundaries on these relationships, because that is talking to the South Node. So are you going to settle? Are you comfortable? Which then is going right back to Venus and the relationship. You're getting a double whammy from both sides because it's a test. It's a test on where is your true vibrational frequency before we let you hit that new moon. Before we let you start to begin again. We're testing if the begin again is actually time around number 37, time around number 2, time around 142. Have you learned the lesson? Or are you starting a new cycle? And you're going to be getting it from all angles because you're being tripped up to see if you have ascended and grown into a higher vibration. Or will you settle and you're so used to the way things have always been that you're going to stay in that same cycle. Uranus loves Mercury this week. Uranus is your independence, your individuality, your uniqueness, your freedom. In the second house of Taurus, speaking to your self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, how you create and spend, which is your manifestation according to your own well-being and your liberation and how you feel about yourself. It's great, getting along great with Mercury. It may be telling you things you may not like, but that's because it's getting along great with it. It's teaching you things. It may also be boosting you because you've already learned these things. You have incredibly unpredictable energy going to Venus from Uranus, which is where it gets funny. You could be coming into your power very much, but at the same time, when Uranus is in Taurus and now it's in retrograde, and you're not in your power, you're not in your self-value, you're not in your self-esteem, then you become the cage itself. You are stuck in the cage. And that's when you get entitled. That's when you get full of being, acting like a dictator and controlling, belittling. So the unpredictable energy that's going to Venus could very much be pushing someone over the edge when they're not in their power. So you have to be aware that may be more than they can let them deal with their own stuff and not take it offensively when they snap because they're not in their power. You can only be responsible for being in your power. Because if you are, Venus will reward you with glorious, wonderful things. Like I say all the time, you have to know how to control your inner chaos, because that's the only way you will truly harness your power. Knowing yourself, knowing your conscious and your unconscious, as soon as it's brought to your attention and you're capable of acknowledging, oh, look, I do this. Wow, I do this. Let me shift this up. Uranus is not getting along with Saturn, though, which is, again, that outer world. And I say all the time, the outer world, your peers, your groups, your memberships that you are part of, which in a form are friends from the outer world. It's like they say your work friends and your friends' friends. There is a difference here. And if your friends or your work friends are only your friends to make them look better, and they don't actually back you up, this is about making sure that this goes both ways. There should be an honest balance of support. Wanting you to meet your goals and dreams, but also wanting to help your friends meet theirs. And if that balance isn't there, then they're just trying to push you into making their quotas, making their dreams come true. You got to keep that in check, because like I said, we're talking about Saturn, rules, walls, and boundaries against the outer world, creating your dreams by having the right people there. And this isn't about being selfish or narcissistic. This is about having a healthy, happy life by having people who love you. People who want to see you grow, as well as succeed, as well as you want to see them succeed. You don't want people who are actually truly narcissistic and don't give a damn about you in your life, just trying to manipulate you because they can. This is a very fine line for many people to come to understand. And this is why I'm giving it to you. Because Uranus, your independence, your individuality, your uniqueness, your freedom, your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem is not getting along with those people who are pushing against you only for their own reasons, for their own behalf, when they really don't care about you. The ones who do care about you, you will see it this week. But the ones who don't, you will definitely see it this week. You also have challenges going on in a chain reaction that I'm showing you for the week, which is Gemini and Ceres, again with that North Node and that communication up close and personal. It's not getting along with the Sun in Virgo. So it's showing you where these routines, these daily tasks, what you eat, as far as food, hygiene, friends, energy, what do you consume in your life in all forms of your daily routines? Is it illuminating what's good for you or not? It's telling you to acknowledge where it is and where it's not and communicate the truth about that. Stand in your power with courage. Do you want to build an empire in your life that you can love, or do you want to live in a hovel? That was Spirit's exact words when they gave it to me. Where are you wanting to take your life? That energy's not getting along with the South Node. Like I said, the South Node is going, I have all these big dreams, and I want to go over here, and I want to do this, and this is the way that the idea is, and this is what society has always said, and this is what we can do and what we can't. But the South Node's there, which means it's too far away. Are you projecting ideas in a dreamland that you're never going to reach? Or are you going to pay attention to up close and personal right here? And what you can do right here and now? Because that's going back to having a conversation with Pluto. Pluto's the spirit. It's the spirit of getting to know the true you. The part of you that's so powerful and aligned with your soul that you're afraid to know. There's parts of us all that when we come into our power, we get a little bit, wow. We get a little bit overwhelmed. This is allowing us to truly start, like I said. Spirit gave me that slogan. It's time to break the cage. We're going to exercise the machine from within, individually, each and every one of us, so we can come into a true unity. A true unity of authentic souls. But we have to get right with our authenticity and where we want to take it before unity can truly begin. I love you guys. See you next week.